And Greens, I am so excited and so happy. It is finally happening. Now, it's been about a year since I released my previous craft kit, but this time we're releasing something even more epic, even more amazing, because this concept has been in my brain brewing for a few years. But it couldn't have been the first craft kit because it was a little ambitious. It was very ambitious. However, we made it happen. So surprise, we're going to have our second Not Another Craft Kit, which will be called Super Not Another Craft Kit, because you Grains wanted to call it a snack. Get it? Super Not Another Craft Kit. So it's a snack. Well, hello there, because you're the snack. Now, because this project was ambitious, we needed a little bit more experience working with molds, working with plaster, knowing what works with what, and we are going to be making not a character figure mold, but a monster figure mold. I'm so excited because I know it's not out there. I know no one has done this before. I'm getting, oh no, the goosebumps are back. The goosebumps are back. I also wanted to mention, if you want to be one of the first to know when it is launched, a couple of hours even before it is launched officially on my channel, click the link down below because you will have a sign-up link where you'll get notified by email. So make sure you put email notifications on. And previously to the first announcement, I'm going to be reacting to videos I took a good few months ago. I don't remember when exactly, but I know the backgrounds kind of changed, but know that videos are recorded ahead of time. So what you see on the date is not always the date that it was recorded, it was previous. Just trust me on that. So I'm basically going to be reacting to past Jackie. However, I kind of have an idea of how it went last time. It was confusing because I was wearing the same hat as past Jackie. So this time I decided to wear a different colored hat. Easier for both of us to distinguish us. Oh, my glasses, they be dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Okay, I am ready. And don't worry, I don't like to keep you waiting for too long. You will have the full disclosure of what's going to be in the snack box after these vlog videos are released, because I like to show you the process, why I took certain things, why I didn't, what was my thought process. And the first video I think we're going to be looking at is me making the figurine. This is a whole journey in itself. So let's go ahead and watch that. Hey Greens, so it is finally time to actually reveal that there is a new craft kit coming out. And this time it's going to be not a character figure, but a creature figure that I'm hand making myself. As some of you may or may not know, in 2021 I released my first ever craft kit called Not Another Craft Kit. And in that kit, what you could do is you can turn a figurine that looks like this based on a mold that I hand sculpted, and you can see the process of that also on the vlog channel. And then from that hand sculpted mold, you can actually create your own character. And so many of you in the community made the most amazing pieces, whether you were beginners, intermediate, or even advanced. I'm so proud of you. Seriously, the amount of nights I just stayed watching all the amazing creations that you've done just absolutely touched me. And I have to say that I'm still getting tagged on these creations, and I'm still so proud of you that so many of you are like, this is my first ever sculpture, first ever plaster, first ever everything. And I'm like, how amazing are you to have gotten out of your comfort zone and tried something new, and you did amazingly. I'm seriously so proud of you. As customary, I don't know why are my glasses, hang on, I got this. Are my glasses always dirty? They were dirty at the beginning of this video and in that one. Wow, at least you know I'm consistent. That's hilarious. And so basically now we're going to be making a figure. So you're watching this now. However, this video has been recorded in the past. That's past Jackie and then future Jackie. I don't know if I'm gonna react to myself, but here I am, basically trying to figure out how to make the figure that I want to use for the mold. Side note, this figure has been in my brain for a few years. However, there were prototypes that we experimented with and they failed. I didn't record them because I didn't think it was going to be a possible thing to make. So know that what you're seeing is after some experience. Again, we needed to gain that experience with the first craft kit in order to make this one possible. You'll see what we're getting at. So this is going to be me basically looking at different kinds of characters. So this is one of my Little Pony customizations. I also got a dragon kind of for references. Here, let me show you. And I bought this one off of AliExpress. I don't know if it's supposed to be a character that anyone knows. Wow, they really Hang on, I got sharp pointy things, my skizzers. There. I was, for a moment, I was actually scared it was gonna bounce back in my face. So, here, I have no idea what fell. And you know what? I should probably keep this cardboard for my parrot. I think I'm gonna do that. So I have another pose of a dragon. I really love the body shape here, so I kind of want to remove the wings because I want to show you what I really like is the fact that the body curves kind of like a bean, a peanut shell kind of thing. And for sure, we're not going to include a tail because I want you to be able to do pony-like characters and dragon-like characters. So it's going to be something in between, but it won't have a head. It'll basically be just the skeleton, and you can add to it as much as you want. That's where the tricky part comes in. It's going to be enough for you to build on, but not too much that you have to focus on too much building. Somewhere in between. So let's just get started. So basically, hopefully I'm not saying this wrong, but if you're looking at a dragon horse type character, kind of like the Longma kind of characters that look like this, I find like dragons and horses share very similar characteristics. Don't at me, that's just my observation, but I feel like you can kind of cross over between both. I mean, look how gorgeous this is. I absolutely love it. So we're gonna go with something like this, but we're not gonna I can't unfortunately make the sculpture as big as something like this, because then way too big for a mold, or can I? We'll see. But I could probably make it more closer to a miniature My Little Pony, because then it's more workable, but I find the body too stubby, and then the neck, I don't know. There's a lot to be fixed on. There's these kinds of looks, there's this kind of look, so I have to try and keep a little bit of everything together and then put it into one piece. There's a lot going on in my brain right now, so bear with me. I have a lot of ideas. I'm just gonna get sculpting. One of the first things I really want to do is kind of get rid of the head here, just to have it. Oh gosh, will you come off? Oh, come on, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh God, don't look at me like that. No. Because I know the head is definitely way too big, and that's not what I want to go with. Obviously, the legs are also too stubby. You know what? Let's just remove the tail too at this point, because we will not. There you go. At least one thing done. And now the challenge of the head. By the way, I watched this documentary that was pretty cool on Netflix showing how, oh gosh, oh boy. Okay, so as I was saying, there's a cool documentary on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us, and there were different companies talking about how they made their toys based on looking at other toys, competitor toys, and I thought that was really cool and so clever to use resources, let's push this in, that are already out there. So yes, the toys that made us. So apparently this practice is very common where you take a toy from another company. So you know what? I'm gonna show a little bit of it so that you can know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's basically the Toys That Made Us, the Star Wars episode, around 8 minutes and 53-esque, more or less. And you'll see that they talk about how they take toys from other companies because they like the base, but then they cut it up, they sculpt it with epoxy, they rebuild it in their own way so that it becomes its own thing.
I found some truck drivers from Fisher-Price. We could take them and carve them up and whittling them down to taking some body putty and modeling the helmets for stormtroopers. We now call it kit bashing.
So I truly kit bashed the Jawa, and I had to drape them with desert garb.
So the idea of kit bashing became something that I was like, you know what? I need to do this because some bases have a good overall idea, but you're going to see that the final figure looks very different. It really becomes a hybrid of the dragon and the pony, basically the Longma pose. Well, Longma type of body-esque. That's basically why I'm kind of getting inspiration of body shapes and body looks from different toys and different poses because I don't want this to be stiff. Kind of like my first figurine that I made, it had a dynamic pose that you could basically look at it from all angles. I am sorry for pushing that hair in. Yeah, and you see, this is too stubby, so I wonder if I can cut this and shave these down. What will that look like? Can I actually stab this? Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna do this off camera so I don't hurt myself. Okay, I think we have a pretty good cut. Very nice. And now I'm going to be mixing some epoxy sculpt so that I can put the pieces together. As much as I want to use my clay, I'm not sure if this plastic is okay to go into the oven. So I'm gonna sculpt it with this, which is way harder than using polymer clay. I'm probably going to regret this, and that's why I'm going to have to remake it with clay at some point, but this is a good visual start. Now the other thing that I noticed actually is by putting this back together, all four, even though this looks very dynamic, all four of the legs have a point of contact on the ground. Same with this one. Pose is very dynamic. All points of contact are on the ground. Now, I can't really guarantee that all of them should be on the ground as the starting pose, simply because some people might make a horse or a pony or a unicorn or an alicorn, and then they'll keep hooves, whereas others might actually add feet. So that's my worry. Because if you're gonna make a dragon, you're gonna add feet, like this. And then, oh no, that's something I didn't think about, huh? This is gonna have to be slightly, oh gosh. It's probably gonna have to be higher up. So if you wanna add feet, there's that option. Oh gosh, my brain. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna shave. Okay, sharp pointy thing, you wait here. I'm gonna shave this down a bit, because I don't want this to be in the way, since we're only making stubs. Kind of like, what's it called? Pirates. Pirate stubby legs. Don't hurt myself. Fun fact, I couldn't do pirate stubby legs because as we tried in other prototypes, those snapped off quickly. So we have to keep in mind that these have to be cast and they have to be removed from a mold. So the thinner something is, the more likely it is to break. And that's probably why nobody has done this before, because it's finicky and it takes so much testing. So much testing. You know what? As I'm shaving this, I'm realizing that this part here is going to be a little difficult to sculpt in order to add details or scales, kind of like over here. So I'm going to actually cut this down the middle as well. Also off camera, I don't want to get hurt. Alright, so here it is from narrow, and now we're going to make it wider. Something like this. Now we have more space. Yes, that is way better. Oh, I like that. Alright, I'm going to shave off the rest of the legs, and then I'm gonna have to make, maybe, you know what? We could probably keep this the same size so it looks more powerful at the front and I guess more dainty at the back. Alright, now that all the stubs have been shaven down, kept the same kind of curvature because I like it when it's dynamic, and look, I already put the epoxy sculpt in. Holy carp, that is a huge difference. We actually have space to put our finger right in between. That sounds wrong, don't take me out of context.
Okay.
But yeah, we can put our finger right there. We can actually have sausage fingers, but now you can actually make a design underneath and your fingers can get under there. Before, you could barely fit your tiny thumb. Tiny thumb. your little pinky. Also, for those of you wondering, hey, this is actually pretty small, don't worry, we resculpted it bigger. So it's not gonna be tiny anymore. It's actually going to be way bigger, well, way bigger in comparison to this one, so that it's easier for you to put as much detail as you want. So, you know, don't worry, it's not gonna be the little ponies that were like 3 inches. I'll show you after. I'll show you exactly what it looks like at the end of this video. These have been shaven down significantly. Now for the hard part. We're gonna need to put these two together, these two different body parts, and I want it so that it's powerful and kind of curving at the belly by the time it gets to the legs. So let me try that. So as you can see, I really needed that epoxy to really get in there, and I wanted to make sure that the shape made sense. Part of me really wanted that inner belly curve. I couldn't go too curvy, otherwise, again, the thinner things are, the more danger there is for them to break, so we are focusing really on them coming out of the mold. And here we are a few hours later. I have to say, I really love this look, and I definitely can sand a little bit more, add some bits to add gaps here, but I think I'm pretty satisfied with this mock-up, which means time for me to do, I'm not going to add different layers again here. I feel like I can just go ahead and get the polymer clay ready and actually sculpt it by hand based on this reference. I really love the proportions of the body here. So as you can see, as I'm trying to sculpt it with polymer clay, I'm trying to figure out what is the proper bean proportion of a pony slash dragon so that we can have something that's a little bit more workable. However, it is very difficult to do that with polymer clay, so I continue working on the actual base itself with epoxy clay. This is definitely way too lumpy. I'm not crazy about the thickness over here. I feel like something's off with the neck and the head position. More work to be done. Oh, I didn't even record the entire process of me having chopped off the arm. So let me just go back. Let's go back over here. Okay, so just for those of you who are wondering, it is hard for me to sculpt on camera because I'm in a weird position and it does give me back pain. So I ended up working on it off camera. So what I did is I removed the front paw that was going inwards from the previous pony that we basically destroyed at this point. It's not even the same figure. And I brought the paw upwards. That way it gives you a lot more freedom and it is balancing on its own. So I had to make different parts thicker. I added a little bit more of that kind of leg backing, the backing of like the knee. Is that a knee? Right under the butt, that curvature. And then what we did is we 3D scanned it with the LiDAR on the phone, and then my brother 3D printed it, and it was so uneven. You can see all the imperfections. So this is where we were at that point. And Ramses, of course. What are you doing?
Pumpkin, baby boy, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, and before we move on too far with the other stuff, this is basically the rescaling of the figurine. We're deciding where to put the holes. So I decided here, two here, one on the bottom. Few things need to be fixed, kind of like the smoothing over here. I'm really excited to see the final piece, but this is looking really good. I am so excited for this. So as you can see, we've made it much bigger compared to the original one. We've changed the shape, we've changed the width, the length, the neck. We added a proper head base. And similarly to the previous mold where we had holes for both the wings insertion and the tail, this time we're adding 2 more on top of the head so that we can have either horns, long ears, or whatever you want. So I did hand sculpt this and we did have to do a lot of smoothing back and forth. We went ahead and had the help of a professional 3D modeling expert. And then we rescanned my lumpy bumpy and we re-smoothed it together. So I really enjoyed seeing 3D sculpting, which really makes me want to learn 3D sculpting because then I know this is a handmade mold, but now we're gonna do like 3D sculpted. How cool would that be? I'm just saying. So you wanna see what it looks like? Give me a second. So here is the one that we heavily modified. It's not even the same character at this point, basically mock-up. And here is the size that you'll be getting to work on. Well, you're not getting it, you're actually making it because it is a mold. Reusable as many times as you like. You can make as many of these as you want. The kit will provide you with enough to actually make 3 whole ones. So same as the other one. So yeah, here it is. Look at this little one. Pata, 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 pata. This one. This is the size. So yeah, this is so exciting. If you're curious, we still have more vlogs because we had to choose an airbrush. Yes, this kit will include an airbrush. I'll see you in the next vlog.